Hi everybody, I'm Raffaella Galasso and I'm the teacher for English 1 and English 2 course at Ciels. We're here today to welcome you to our open classes, and as an open class today I will show you how to give a presentation. How to give a presentation, it's a topic that I deal with in both my classes, as I've given my students the possibility of giving an oral presentation throughout the year, which is usually done in the second semester, and this will give them the opportunity of gaining up to +2 points to their final score. So let's start. The important thing when giving a presentation is to think about your audience. I have some slides here for you. So let me open the slides. Okay. So when presenting, we need to think about our audience first of all. Why is this important? If we start our presentation from our point of view rather than our audience's point of view, the presentation will be boring. So the first thing to do is to think about what your audience needs to know. That means that if you're presenting to a group of students, you will have to ask yourself what your peers already know, and then structure your presentation on what they don't know, so what's curious for them, what would be interesting for them. And obviously you should drag from your own knowledge and then present a topic which you're interested in, genuinely interested in, because they will immediately understand if that's something that is genuinely coming from your own interest, from your own life path. The second thing to think about when you're giving a presentation is how to structure your presentation. And the best example here that I can find is to think about a sandwich structure where you have two layers of bread, the top bread and the bottom bread, and then you fill it in with something tasty. So think about a sandwich. So your presentation should have an introduction, which is usually a list of topics, so that your audience will immediately understand what you are talking about. This is a passage that is often skipped by students, but it's actually a very important passage. So make sure that your presentation has an introduction. Then the body of your presentation should present ideas, facts, data, and also images, graphs, charts, whatever you have on that topic that can sort of support your main idea or your main topic. Obviously, the design of your presentation is also very important. By design, we're talking about the layout, and these days you can use any sort of tools. So for instance, here today I'm using Google Slides, but you can use Prezi or PowerPoint or any other kind of tools you're confident with. The design should be consistent. By consistent we mean coherent. So even if you might like giving very colorful and glossy presentation, I think that a good presentation should have a clear structure, which means that your headers should look the same, the body of your paragraphs should look the same, and also the size of your images possibly should look the same. For instance, the presentation you're looking at, as you can see, has a big image and then just a couple of keywords. That is to highlight the topics without distracting my audience, because I'll be talking over my presentation, which means that your audience will we have to follow two things: your presentation behind you and your own voice explaining what's in the presentation. So my ideal presentation has a big, impact, catchy image and just 5, maybe 6 words on it. Something else that you should consider it's how you will deliver your message. That means that good presentations usually have a structure which follows the sort of a movie structure, which is that you call in your audience to an adventure. So you are presenting a topic and they might not know the topic, or they might not know your argument on that topic. And then you are presenting your own idea, which means that you're presenting the topic and then your own idea, and then you are showing them what it could be, which means that that's the future for them. And then you're going back to the topic, and then to your own idea, and then again to what it could be. So there is actually a clear structure to a presentation that you might want to follow. An important thing when you're giving a presentation is to look at your audience. Possibly don't stare just always in the same direction, but try to look at everyone in the room. Be enthusiastic, so remember that you are delivering a topic, you are delivering a presentation about something you are interested in. Be energetic and also vary your tone. By using a flat tone, your audience might get very, very bored very soon. An important thing is also to set a question time for your presentation. Usually a good idea would be to set a question time once your presentation will be over, because that will give you the possibility of just delivering your presentation. However, it depends on the topic, because for some presentations maybe you will need to set a question time in the middle of the presentation. Students might have questions that need to be answered for them in order to understand the rest of the presentation. And another important step is to close your presentation with what we call a next step or a future step. That means that good presenters close their presentations by leaving their audience with something to think about when they go home, let's say. So maybe you can just ask a question to your audience and close the presentation by saying something, what would you do, or what is your opinion about this topic? Or maybe you can leave some references, some sources that they can investigate in order to know more about the topic you've been presenting. Having done this, your audience is there to listen to you, so be as natural as you can be, and interact with them if you feel like it, because doesn't matter what I tell you here today, you need to find your own presentation style, which is a mix. Ideally, it's a mix of what I've been telling you, or good presentation skills, and then your own style. So now, do you have any questions?